this video, I'm going to tell you how you can tell if you have Asperger's syndrome, and here are the top 5 signs that I know of to help you along the way, coming up. Hey guys, welcome back to the TheAspieWorld. My name is Dan. I have autism, ADHD, OCD and dyslexia, and I make weekly videos all about this type of content. So if you're new around here and you'd like to learn more about Asperger's syndrome, please make sure to hit that subscribe button by clicking the notification bell below. And if you're watching over on Facebook, be sure to give this page a like and a follow to see more videos just like this one. Okay guys, well before we get started, let me know if you are a person looking to diagnose yourself or looking to diagnose somebody else in the comments down below. I read and respond to every single comment, so please do that now. Let's have a chat. Okay guys, so you think you might have Asperger's syndrome, or you're looking for somebody else and think they might have Asperger's syndrome. Well, it's a good job that you are here, because I have a diagnosis of Asperger's syndrome and I have listed out 5 of the most common signs of Asperger's syndrome, where how you can really quickly identify if somebody is on the spectrum or not using this kind of outline. This is not an official test, but this is a good way to indicate to you that, okay, maybe I should go and see a specialist because my kid or myself act in this way. Right, let's get started. Oh, and actually before I forget, I do content on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter as well, so if you've got any of those platforms and want to follow me, go follow me right now. Also, Instagram is a good one, because if you want to hit me up on the DMs, I also reply to every message on there, so if you want to contact me, that's probably the best way to do it. Okay, let's jump straight in to my list. So number 1 is the love of routine. Now, people with Asperger's syndrome love repetitive routine, getting up the same time every day, going downstairs, sitting on the same chair every day, eating the same cereal every single day, and watching the same show every single morning. That is them in a nutshell. You know, they wear the same clothes every day, they like the same foods all the time, they go to the same places all the time. It's basically a all-rounder routine that is comfortable and is familiar to them, because people on the autism spectrum don't like change in their routine. They don't like things that they can't control, like surprises in their road. So when you have a routine, there's not going to be anything that's going to just pop out as a surprise, because you already know all the stuff that's on it, because you do it every single day. You do it day in, day out, no surprises, super easy to deal with. Love it. So number 2 is obsessive interest. Now, people with Asperger's syndrome will have an obsessive interest. Now, an obsessive interest is basically where the person has a topic of interest. It could be like, you know, Pokemon or Tamagotchis or Minecraft or Harry Potter or whatever, and they'll learn everything there is to know about it. They'll learn everything they know. They'll buy every book, every t-shirt. They'll go to the place where it was created. They'll know all the backstories of every character and know every individual tiny little detail, because their obsessive interest is their mind's way of engaging with something that's really keeping their focus engaged in something that is building their mind, and it's just a fantastic thing to do. So you've got to hit that thumbs up button if you know somebody who's like got every single kind of like Pokemon t-shirt in the world, or knows everything about Minecraft, and your loft, garage or basement is full right now of Minecraft books or like My Little Ponies or something. I know exactly what you're talking about. You've got to give this video a thumbs up, because you know what I'm saying now. I see you, Mum. I see you doing this right now. I see you laughing at this video. I know exactly what I'm saying, right? Because obsessive interests are really cool. You know, and it's not a bad thing. It's a really good thing if you treat it in a good way. Now, I actually did a free webinar course all about help for parents and caregivers of people on the spectrum. Now, if you want to check that out, if parents and carers are watching this video right now and want to check out this free web class I did specifically for them to help ease people's lives with autism, there is a link in the card above, a link in the end card and in the description below, where you can get your hands on that course and you can just take it. It's for free and it's awesome. So yeah, check that out. Okay, so number 3 is bad eye contact. Now, bad eye contact basically means what it says on the tin. People who have Asperger's syndrome have a real bad difficulty making eye contact, maintaining eye contact and keeping eye contact with people. Now, bad eye contact could be a countering factor to the fact that people on the autism spectrum have a difficulty with social situations. Now, those social situations may cause issues with like trying to look people in the eyes and keeping and maintaining eye contact with people, because that's a socially understood convention. And obviously if you don't understand social conventions, then well, how on earth are you supposed to ever understand to maintain eye contact. Look at somebody right in the eyes. Make sure that eye contact is part of a everyday conversation. It's very difficult for someone on the autism spectrum, especially people like diagnosed with Aspergers syndrome, to actually maintain that eye contact. Okay, number 4, this is really interesting. This one impacted my life probably more than any other, and this is following instructions and issues with following instructions. Now, people diagnosed with Aspergers syndrome, like myself, will have issues following instructions. Now, you might think that following instructions is really simple. You could just like tell somebody to go and do something, and you say, do this, 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 and this, and you go and do it. Well, in actual fact, it's very difficult. For a start, if you just give somebody instructions that are verbal instructions and their brain can't process the way that the verbal instruction then goes into a physical command, then they're never going to be able to do that. Now, that's exactly what happens with me and autism in general, where if you ask someone with an autism spectrum condition to do something specifically in a list format or an instructional format, they may have difficulty trying to process what you're actually asking. So actually, I asked my girlfriend quite a few times. I said to her, like, oh, can you tell me again what you need, and then we'll write it down, or we'll draw a picture. Now, this is the best way to overcome this, so that you can just actually draw pictures of what you want. But also, list formats in text sometimes don't work either, because it's just as confusing and difficult. Because people on the autism spectrum are quite visual thinkers, and they like to see things visually and kind of like notice that, oh yeah, that's how it is. Anyway, that is one of the most common ways that you can figure out if you are on the autism spectrum, because having that issue with the communicative part of your brain and the social part is definitely impacting the way that you follow instructions and understand instructions. And this also could be down to like following cooking instructions on a packet or a recipe or a remedy. So this is a big one. Now we're getting down to number 5, the big old number 5. But if you think that this video is helping or can help somebody else, please try and share it on Facebook and Twitter or Instagram or wherever you feel is a good place to share it. Because I feel like if we can share and tag people in this, the more people can be helped, and that would just be fantastic. So please go ahead and do that right now. And yeah, let's get on with number 5. Okay, so this is an interesting one, probably the biggest one out of all of them that impact everybody on the spectrum in pretty much the same way. Now, this is issues with social communication. Now, social communication isn't just the fact that, you go to see a friend, you ask how they ask how you are, and you shake hands. That's not social communication. That is a form of social communication. That's not all of it. It's said that we actually communicate 70% of our lives without actually speaking. So, 70%, which is the outstanding majority of communication, is done without actually talking, which is difficult, especially people who are autistic, who actually like more verbal conversation and or maybe picture conversation. So this is an issue. Now, the issue is basically this: when you are growing up and you're understanding like different social situations and social conventions, you kind of pick up on those, because it's just a learning process that people do as they learn and express themselves if they are developing typically with neurotypical brain conditions. Now, the problem that autism and autistic people have is that when you're developing, your brain is wired a little bit differently, so it's having a difficult time understanding the world around you, let alone social issues, let alone social conventions within social circles that you're already having difficulties with. So you may not have a chance to pick those up. I mean, some people may pick them up. I'm not saying they're going to be able to not notice any of them, but most people would just have a little bit that they may pick up. The bigger picture, like jokes and sarcasm and knowing how far to stand away from your friend, or knowing when to shake someone's hand, knowing the appropriate language to use in front of somebody, knowing like where there's a filter where you don't say certain things in front of certain people, or you don't you have a respect for authoritarian figures and you have certain things that you're allowed to say to them, but not, this is all very confusing. And it may be that it's sounding quite trivial, but for people on the autism spectrum, this is very difficult. So this is another way. If you talk with no filter, if you're loud and people say your volume is wrong, if people say you stand too close and you don't understand personal space, these are all huge social conventions, especially hand gestures and just small social gestures. Really, those things are really difficult to pick up on, especially if you're on the autism spectrum, and that really does suck. So guys, if you are enjoying this video, please make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out another one, and I will see you next time, guys.